Welcome to A Social Disease, a podcast for recapping and relating to Degrassi the Next Class. I'm your host, Jessie Mack.
And I'm Carly Jo Gear, also a host.
This show is not for kids, as we have frank discussions about sex, drugs, and violence. Listener discretion advised.
What's up? What's up? Welcome to 1998.
Budweiser.
Yeah, you didn't see that one coming, did you? Zing.
Hot pocket.
Unfortunately, we're not talking about Next Generation. We are still talking about the new class. What's up, y'all? We're back. We're fat. Get used to it.
We have back fat.
That's what I immediately thought of. Anyways.
Oh man, one of my preschoolers told me once that the back of my belly was showing, and it was the worst moment of my life.
But also kind of what we kind of got. It could be.
The back looks the same as the front.
The back of your belly, if you logistically.
That's what it is.
Anyways,
it's just my belly going all around.
Alrighty,
That's what a spare tire is.
A couple of gals sitting around our computers talking about back fat in season 2, episode 7 of Degrassi. Hashtag that awkward moment when. And today we have back Bethany Jill Duhaime.
You don't need to use my middle name.
I'm using, I didn't say like your maiden name.
I know. I would rather you use, listen, my only regret about getting married is that I did not take the time when I was changing my name anyway to change my middle name to be my maiden name. I didn't think of it that was like a thing, but it's totally a thing you can do.
It is a thing.
And I'm not going to go back and change my name now.
But then we wouldn't be Timmy J, Bethany Jill, and Carly Jo.
Yeah, I know, but
I really fucking ruined
Bethany
that.
Jill Gear sounded like fine, not great, but fine. But Bethany Jill Duhaime sounds stupid as hell. I don't know why mom and dad didn't think about my potential married name when they were naming me.
I don't know. I think that I could potentially see a really nice piece of wood with Bethany Jill Duhaime Live Laugh Love written on it.
No, I hate it. If you get me that for Christmas, then you are not staying at my house for the rest of the time.
Already put in the custom order for it. So
you're sleeping in the yard.
I'm down. Okay. So yeah, I don't think we have any other questions for Bethany Jill Gear Duhaime.
No, drop the Jill. I hate it. It sounds dumb.
Do you have anything to say? Any questions for any brain busters for her, Jessica Rain?
No, I haven't thought of new questions for second time or third
what about,
time.
I'm a third timer, all right? I'm getting on Saturday Night Live when they're, what is it, the 5-timers club? They get a jacket.
No.
If I come on her 2 more times, I better get a freaking jacket or I'm going to be pissed.
We'll work on it. I don't have any. I'm what else could we ask?
You asked me what size jacket I am because you better special order it now.
I'll have to design one.
It better be.
Right.
Listen.
Oh, the snowflake one.
Put it as a little decal on the front.
Oh my god, yes! It's got to be embroidered.
I came on A Social Disease 5 times, and all I got was this lousy jacket. Okay, so we open at, as I'm calling it this week, the Hollingsworth Home for Wayward Children.
Ooh, it really is this week.
It is, yeah. Frankie is sending her mom away with, I assume, a pumpkin spice latte so she can secretly call out of school for herself.
I totally did that.
What?
I did that a bunch of times.
You did that to mom?
I only got caught twice, and both times it was because I was with friends, and their parents caught us.
Oh, and then they told mom?
Yes. Well, no, actually, only one of the times did they tell mom. Megan's mom caught us because we skipped school to go to the mall, and she told mom. But Katie's dad caught us when we were skipping school one time, and he just let us get away with it.
Nice.
And we thought that we'd fooled him, and only years later has he been like, "Remember the time I caught you guys skipping school?" And I'm like, "You knew that's what we were doing?"
Wait.
He came home sick in the middle of the day, and it happened to be around the time of lunch period. So Katie was like, I forgot my math book, so Beth drove me home to get it. Now we're going back to school.
Oh, jeez.
He did not buy it because he saw our popcorn and our blankets stuffed behind the TV.
I can't believe that you did that.
I always just refused to go. I never pretended I was going to skip. I just didn't go and was like, Mom, I'm not going. Too bad.
Well, it was once I had a car.
Mm.
You know, like sometimes I literally, like I would drop you off at school, Carly.
Oh
I would drop my friends off that I drove to school, and I'd be like,
You come home.
I'd be like, guys, I'm going home. I'm not
And
doing
then
this
you would
today.
call the school,
And then I would
be
call
mom?
the school, and it usually was a voicemail.
Yeah.
Listen.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I called you out of school once.
Yeah, but that was for
was
like a half day.
That was to
That
go to
Hooters. So that was a special occasion.
I know, but that's the kind of stuff I pull, okay? Is you call the office, you sound very adult, you say, I'm calling, my daughter has a doctor's appointment. Her name is Carly Jo Gear. My other daughter is in college. She's getting out of class. She's going to come pick Carly up to go to the doctor's. They will not be returning.
I'm
And
just
you pick
shook.
your sister up and you bring her to Hooters.
See, this is the thing. Like, Mom and I would get into fights in the morning because I'd be like, I don't feel good, and she'd be like, stay home, and I'd be like, but I have Jonah. I'd be like, I have a test. I have to go take that test, and I have homework due, and I have to bring it in, and I'm freaking out, and I'm having anxiety attack. And Mom would be like, just stay home. You haven't missed any classes, and I'd be like, no, I can't ruin my perfect attendance.
No, I would be like, I don't want to go. And Mom would be like, I'm dragging you out by your hair and you are going. And I don't care if you're sick. Sometimes you have to go to school sick. That's life.
God. No.
You're gonna attendance fail and drop out just like your brother.
Man, we really.
I would be like, Mom, it is senior year. My only required course right now is English, and I have a 99 average. I could fail every other class, and I would still graduate. And she's like, and you would do that just to spite me, wouldn't you? I probably would have, if we're being real. I probably would have.
Well,
Oh
my
God.
mom was a stay-at-home mom and then a substitute teacher at the high school.
So you were
so
not getting away with it.
It was literally just, I'd be like, I'm not going. I haven't slept in 3 days. Too bad. And I'd kick and scream and just be like, Mom, please, just let me stay home. And I just wouldn't go.
Wow. What tangled lives we weave, or webs. Or
I was always like at the highest number of absences you could have while passing.
Oh, yeah, me too. Me too.
Okay.
Often I went over, but because my classwork was so good when I was there,
Mhm.
they would kind of look the other way.
Right.
Like there were a bunch of classes that technically I should have attendance failed
Mhm.
because I had more than the number of absences, but I got all my work done. So
See, I also didn't do my work. So.
See, okay, so the only time I even came close to attendance failing was the second semester of my senior year, and that's
Right.
because Mom was dying, and I was
Right.
like, I'm too depressed to get out of bed, and yet I still didn't attendance fail. I still managed to get there, but yeah. And then I did actually fail calculus my second semester.
You don't know your calculus.
I don't. Calculus was
You
really
plus
hard.
me equals them.
Yeah. I was
F.
really calculus was really hard, and so in Mom fashion, she got the report card and was like, "You failed calculus," and I was like, "Yeah," and she was like, "But I saw you graduate." And I was like, "Yeah, I didn't. That was an extra
that
bonus.
wasn't a required
Yeah.
course, Mom.
That was me being
an elective.
That was me being like, I enjoy math, so I think I'll take calculus.
Yeah,
And then it was really hard. So yeah, Mom was like, I don't. But
you didn't need
graduated.
that many credits to graduate Merrimack High. I had enough.
You need 21.
By the beginning of my senior year.
Yeah. No, I think I was pretty much close to it too. Yeah.
So I literally only had to pass English because that was the only required course senior year, and I had enough because it was 21 credits or something you needed. So if you took and passed 7 classes 3 years in a row, by the time you were a senior, you would already have enough credits, and everything else was just gravy. All right, we're talking a lot about Frankie calling herself out of school, and I'm just saying
we're getting there.
She makes a fatal mistake and she hangs out with a friend, and that's when you get caught.
Then Jonah arrives, who is me, trying to get her to go to school because he's a good person.
His cross is clearly upside down. He's worshiping Satan now, by the way. I don't know if you took a look at his cross.
He's straight edge.
Yeah,
He's straight edge like I was.
I don't think he is because he's not abstaining from sexual relations anymore.
Bethany, you are derailing this podcast.
Yeah, I know. I'm not sure what you expected.
We are in the first fucking scene.
2 sentences.
20 minutes in.
Jonah
All right.
arrives, shut your pie hole, Jonah arrives and offers Frankie a ride to school, who's ditching because everyone thinks she's racist.
Wow.
Yes.
She is.
Anyways, and this, okay, here's my thing is that, like, of all the times that Miles has been about to go to boarding school, why doesn't Frankie just, like, ask to transfer to another school? Like,
I know, right?
We know that her parents are totally down to pay for a private school. Why doesn't she just be like, hey, can you send me to another private school in Toronto? I'm sure it's not that hard. She could still see
Because
Jonah.
then she would miss Jonah.
But she'd still live in the same house. Like, she could just go to a private school in that town. They're in
yeah, she totally
Toronto.
could.
Anyways.
I know.
Anyways.
Private schools everywhere.
Yeah. She convinces Jonah to play hooky by showing off her cute bralette that she was wearing
Underpants.
under her sweatshirt without a shirt. So that was interesting.
She was ready.
I know.
I know.
I'm
She like zipped it down and everything. Like if it was a pullover sweatshirt, I'd give it to her. But I feel like you can't do a zip up without a shirt underneath.
Dude,
Although I had a professor in college who would he'd do a zip up fleece and he'd have it like unzipped a little bit and you could see his hairy chest.
I think that's the look she was going for, but she honestly could have zipped her nipple off. So
No, she was trying to look like my it was like a folk music class. We learned about Bob Dylan.
Bethany,
She probably took that class.
how educated are you for real? Because I don't know what classes did you take?
I took all kinds of things.
I need to see some credentials.
I do. Listen, I have my degree in early childhood education, and all my electives. I took a lot of interesting ones. Okay.
I know, and yet here we are, me with an acting degree, making about $5 more an hour than you, babysitting.
I know, working in the same field.
Yeah, you're so much more trained than I am.
Yep.
And with a fucking classroom of kids. And
yeah, but I married a rich husband, so I'm
fine. I know. I'm over here slumming it by myself.
Gotta marry. I got in Greg when his stock was low, and then he like exponentially.
But actually, I did use your husband to get this apartment because I needed the co-signer because I don't have,
Oh, yeah, it's true.
I don't have a what do you call it? A pay stub. So they're like, prove your income.
I'll loan you my rich husband every once in a while.
I was like, I got a brother-in-law with money. Hey, Greg.
Hey, Greg, want to be my sugar daddy?
Can I just get a couple of your pay stubs and maybe some extra information about your income?
Can I have your social security number?
And he gave it to me. He gave me that
what
number.
A sucker.
I'm Greg Duhaime now.
What an identity thief.
Anyways, you're going to cut so much of this. Yes. Okay.
No, this is all important.
I know. Sorry. Anyways, Jonah is DTS, down to swim.
Yeah.
When Mrs. Hollingsworth returns because, surprise, surprise, the school called her. Now she's not allowed to see Jonah because Mrs. Hollingsworth has no clue that she's skipping because everyone thinks she's racist. But again, the Hollingsworth clan, that's not a big deal. They don't think it's big that she's racist.
They're like, why aren't you going? You're racist? Honey, that's great news.
I can't believe you're following in our family's footsteps.
Yay. She got off all her clothes, and Jonah only stripped down to his jeans.
Well, he was in the middle of it.
I think he was going to jump in the pool in his dungarees.
I bet the actor doesn't wear underwear, and he was like, this is where I have to stop.
That's probably true. Jonah just in general probably doesn't wear underwear.
Yeah, he's free balling.
I'm telling you, walking around in wet jeans is no fun.
No, and then Pops will be like, Bethy, you can't come in the house in those wet dungarees. And then you have to look around like, I don't know what part of me can't come in. I don't know what dungarees are, Dad.
That's right. You did used to go swimming in
your
jeans.
I know, because I had a bad body image.
Yeah.
And I was not about to wear a bathing suit. I don't know that like a wet t-shirt and wet jeans were like that more body flattering, but...
I'm just imagining you like getting out of the pool and it's like, oh yeah. Dripping, and it wasn't even like skinny jeans. They were like Jinko jeans, essentially.
Yes, I was very drippy and wet and dragging about 10 pounds of Jenko jeans behind me. They weren't Jenko jeans though, because Mom said those were too expensive, so they were like off-brand Jenko jeans.
I'm sorry, we getting turned on? Because I am.
Ew, are you getting turned on thinking about me swimming in my dungarees?
In your Jenko jeans?
In my Jenko jeans dungarees? That's gross. We're not family anymore.
We're definitely gonna film that scene from what is that?
Fast Times at Ridgemont High when she's getting out of the pool and she's like takes off her bra top for no reason.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah.
With Phoebe
do
Cates.
that, Bethany.
And then Judge Reinhold is jerking it in the bathroom and she catches him.
That's me.
I think even more embarrassingly, he's wearing like his outfit from his job, like his pirate costume
I hope
that he
was
has to
wearing
wear.
Janko jeans.
No, neither of them were wearing Janko jeans because this was like 1983.
I know. Oh, a time before Janko jeans. What a sad time to be alive.
I know. Listen, speaking again of my young coworkers, I tell some of them about Janko jeans and they don't believe me and I have to look it up. And I'm like, look at this. This is what was
But aren't
cool.
they coming back?
I keep hearing that they are, but I haven't seen them.
I'm going to start wearing them. I'm going to bring them back like I did overalls.
Okay. All right. I'll allow
I'm
it.
going to bring them back so that I can strap, liquor to my legs and then
not
go
get
into
caught.
bars.
You were not allowed to wear Janko
Yeah.
jeans in shop class.
Oh.
And
Wasn't it? Okay.
Mr. Geary would like duct tape. He would duct tape the boys' legs so that it didn't get like caught in the saw because your whole Janko jeans would come off and get
Why
caught
are
in the
boomers
saw
like
and you would
this?
die.
Wasn't there? I think it was in like Bowling for Columbine or something like that, where they showed a kid who was wearing like a baggy sweatshirt and like Janko jeans, and then he pulled out like 7 assault rifles from his jeans, and like remember it was like all this ammo he could carry if you were wearing like this
like your
goth
Janko
attire.
Jeans. Yeah, that's why we dress like that. Just
That's
sneaker.
why we can't. No Janko jeans. They're
Concealed
dangerous.
carry.
Good thing boys these days wear skinny jeans, and that's why our gun fatalities are down in America.
I don't think they are.
Oh, what?
No, we just open carry in Walmart now. 'Cause
Oh.
look
at me,
I have a gun in Walmart. That'll show them.
I thought they
don't
stopped
mess with
selling
me.
video games, so I thought we were
No. Now Walmart says don't come in our store while you're open carry.
And people are protesting
good. Oh,
them.
people are pissed.
I saw a post the other day of someone saying to protest, go shopping and buy and put everything in the cart that you would buy and then leave it at the front so that they know you're not going to buy it.
I'm not going to buy this now because I couldn't bring my gun in. I hide it under my Janko jeans instead.
As if corporate is like there being like, oh no.
Wear
It's
your
just
Janko
like-
jeans and shoplift all you can in your Janko jeans.
It's just like, now you're just making more work for the underpaid employees.
Exactly.
Good job.
Yeah.
Well, they should work harder so they could have been born rich.
If they can't flip my burger at Walmart correctly, then they don't deserve $15 an hour.
Exactly. All right, what happened next?
Next, we were in the front of the school and to the left, just so we know, because, there's different sections of the front of the school. Tiny is showing Shay a really cool giant squid on his phone.
He is really into sea life.
He is. And I'm assuming he's showing Shay because Lola probably doesn't understand his love of aquatic life.
I don't think she knows what a squid is.
I don't think she does. Then Shay turns to show, then it's Shay's turn to show Tiny something equally nerdy. A summer science camp.
Yay!
Oh my fucking God, yes, yes. But the essay is due in 2 days, and no high schooler in the history of high school has ever written an essay in less than 2 days. I mean, how's he going to do it, you guys? I don't, what? How's he going to do it? 2 days?
Shay will help him.
Oh, thank God. Thank God, because you need at least what? What do you think? It took 12 hours to really sit down and pound the keys to write.
I'm pretty
an
sure
essay?
Shay is just gonna write it for him.
I think I wrote most of mine in 2 days because I put it off and put it off and put it off until the last minute.
Night before.
Yeah, I was gonna
But
say.
again, I did so well in high school.
No, but I wrote my essays. It got bad when I was at Columbia. It was I'd wake up at 4 a.m. and write a paper for a 9 a.m. class, and still get it done.
I wouldn't go to sleep. I've never written a paper without it being
Pulling
the
an
result of an
all-nighter.
all-nighter.
It's kind of like how I did my Degrassi notes today at 1 p.m.
I did mine at 5 p.m.
Even though we agreed like last week to do this episode today.
Yeah, no. I definitely did them. Like I was at a first time babysitting gig today for a 4-month-old, and I was like, this baby's gonna take some naps. I'm gonna be no problem. This baby slept for like 20 minutes at a time.
No.
I was like, Kim, go back to sleep. Go back to sleep. I need to take naps.
That's unfortunately
yeah.
not unusual.
I know. I think I'm used to like, maybe I'm just spoiled and I'm used to really good sleeping babies. So,
Some babies are not good sleepers.
Yeah, he didn't sleep that much, but he was very cute. So, and he's really chill. So I'm like, you know what? I'll let it slide. I did eventually get the notes done. I just didn't want like his mom to come home and I'm like watching my iPad and like typing. And being like, I mean, he's fine. He's not going anywhere.
The baby likes this.
The baby is enjoying it. He's cooing, so he's good. Oh yeah, so then fucking dumbass Lola comes running up, and she almost didn't fail her history test.
64%.
Yeah. So,
Nice.
anyways,
Psyched.
yeah, she hugs him and reveals that his stomach is still hurting after 3 days. Shay suggests a doctor, while Lola suggests her homeopath. While Tiny is like, "Whoa, I'm not gay." Lola takes Shay's doctor recommendation as a threat and asks Tiny who he thinks cares about him more.
Oh my
Shay
God, Lola.
or your fucking girlfriend?
Clearly Shay, since she wants him to go to a doctor and not a snake oil salesman.
But see, what the problem was, she didn't offer him a smoothie.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
That would have helped.
That would have helped. They need to get Zoe in there with her smoothie skills.
Yeah, but no, she needs to do some research first. You know what I mean? Like, she didn't...
She
was
should
up all
research
night.
it all night on the internet.
Up all night researching stomach aches.
That's actually, like, the nicest... Like, if you think about Zoe, that's the nicest she's, like, ever been. And
to anybody.
And Grace was like, fuck your kindness. It's not...
I know, and Zoe's like, never again. Now I'm an asshole to everybody.
Listen, I don't blame her, because when that friend we all know about is like...
Oh, yeah.
Post pictures of people who take pills versus people who change their lifestyle. I'm
Oh
like,
my
bitch,
God.
I need pills just to think straight. all
Right? I cannot change my lifestyle without the medication.
Right.
Jesse, have you tried yoga? I'm just...
Oh my God, I've never heard of yoga. Tell me about that. Will that relieve my depression, my crippling anxiety?
Have you
Yeah.
meditated? When
Yeah.
I sit there and meditate, oh my God, my mind goes wild when I try to meditate.
Well, it's because you're also taking all those pills
Right.
and they're interfering with your chi.
Yeah, what I remember having a conversation with my therapist about how like one of the times I went to yoga and at the end there was like the just like sitting in your thoughts and like breathing, and I was telling her that I was like, yeah, so at the end of it like I just started crying, and she was like, and why do you think that is? And I was like, because I was alone with my thoughts. Like, what the fuck? God damn it. I was like, because I wasn't focused on something else. Like, fuck you.
Right.
Fuck you, therapist, for pointing out the obvious. What did okay, wait. Like, I saw this the other day and I was like, oh, this is accurate as fuck about myself. Feeling the need to be busy all the time is a trauma response and fear-based distraction from what you'd be forced to acknowledge and feel if you slowed down.
Jesus.
Accurate.
And I was like, no.
That's you, girl.
Why? Let me get another job. I only have 17.
Oh my God. I don't know. That's just why I'm in my phone all day. So.
No, I no, that's 1000% it. Like no. When people are like, "Oh, I've deleted like Facebook off my phone," I'm like, "Yeah, well, I can't because I think I would jump off a cliff." To be quite honest, like I don't know.
Right.
Listen,
It's
it's my
such a
crutch,
distraction.
and if you take it away, I will fall.
Exactly. I know. Although I joked with my therapist about, I was like, so what would happen if I just came in and was like, I'm good? And she was like, oh, we would probably do like some mindfulness exercises. And I was like, oh God, oh no. you'd be like, get to the root of my problems? Oh fuck, no. Oh shit.
Yeah, there's definitely my therapist was talking about doing the EMDR therapy, and I'm like, is that gonna like rip open all my issues, and then I'm just gonna be like a big open wound for like 2 weeks until I see you again?
Ooh.
Is that the one that like draws to like childhood trauma and shit and like makes people remember repressed memories?
I don't know if it does that, but it's just like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, yeah, I haven't done it, so I've like put off doing it because I'm like afraid that it's gonna like leave me in a weird position, and I only see her like every other week. So
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna need to see me again tomorrow if you want to do that.
I know. My friends are always like, "So what did your therapist say about this?" And I was like, "Oh, I usually don't let her talk. I just keep going." So I don't know what she says about this because I didn't let her speak. So,
Even I let my therapist speak, and you know how I am.
she does tell me. She tells me good things, but most of the time I'm just like, maybe because it's that fear of silence, and I think usually they stop to see if you have anything else to say. Like they don't respond right away.
Yep.
But yeah, so I'm like,
I hate that.
I should say something else.
Yeah. That's me. Every time there's silence in therapy, I'm like,
must fill it. But yeah, it turns out they're literally waiting for you to just stop so they can say something. Anyways, so yeah, next we're in Mr. Hot Sauce's English class.
Wait, I needed to talk about how Shay
sorry.
called the homeopathy wizard's magic.
oh yeah.
Oh my god.
I really loved that.
What is it? Okay. Shay in this episode in particular is very like adult woman. Mm-hmm. She's like, we don't need your wizard's magic. Like,
Now let's go to the doctors.
And later when she's like, so stop being a man and get your ass to a doctor. And you're like, damn, Shay, okay. Like, I don't know. I feel like she aged like 20 years in this. She doesn't
have Frankie's bullshit holding her back anymore.
I guess so.
Meanwhile, where are Tiny's parents? Why aren't they taking him to the doctor?
Right.
I want to say it was like I don't know. Again, didn't
Tiny like live with his big brother who was like
it was like
dealer.
a Sean situation.
Yes, a Sean Cameron situation. Except unlike Tracker, Tiny's brother was a drug dealer.
Tracker.
Yeah.
Tracker was Sean's brother's name.
Oh God.
I think he was probably one of Bruce Willis and Demi Moore's kids. They had Rumor and Scout and Tallulah and Tracker.
I think that Tiny also deafened a guy in one ear in Wasaga
Beach.
He's deaf because of me. I'm like, oh, okay. Anyways.
Yeah, Tiny definitely doesn't have parents. Now, who does Tiny live with now? Because remember,
they mention his aunt later.
Oh, okay, all right. Because Zig got Vince sent to jail or something, didn't he? Wasn't that a thing in the reboot?
Yeah, I think so. I think he went to jail. I don't know. Anyways,
it's not important.
He's definitely in jail, but I don't know. I don't think it was Zig that.
I mean, he might be out by now. I don't know how long he'd go to jail for.
We need answers, Netflix. Everyone's staring at Frankie while also avoiding eye contact. No one wants to volunteer. What the fuck did you just say?
I said, ooh.
Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to talk with water in your mouth.
Ooh, I was gargling. Oh.
Yeah. No one wants to volunteer to let Frankie join their animal farm discussion. So she has to work with Mr. Mitchell, who is black.
Yes, and what's his face from the Gamer Club is like, sure, you're okay with that, Frankie?
Exactly. Boz cracks wise that she might not be comfortable with that. Frankie sits ostracized at the front of the room while Shay and Lola look at her uncomfortably. Frankie texts Jonah, I need you. I have to work with a black teacher. Oh my God, though, seriously, the anxiety from having to be the teacher's partner is real, okay?
Yeah,
oh my God.
I wouldn't be comfortable
That's always the worst when you have to be partners with
the way
the teacher.
He did that, he should have just
he was like,
her.
Who wants to be Frankie's partner? Oh, nobody? Okay, well, he probably knows she's racist and he's putting her on blast.
Shit.
I was gonna say, he did her on purpose. He did her dirty like that.
Yeah, he totally knew.
Yeah, he was like...
He's like, yeah, don't think I didn't see your cool drawing, Frankie.
Right. Sorry, Karen. Have a seat, bitch. Let's work together.
He was like, now listen, everyone else is doing Animal Farm. You and I are doing Raisin in the Sun.
To Kill a Mockingbird. So now we're in the front of the school again, but to the right this time. Because apparently school hasn't started for everyone. Like, I don't know. Frankie went to class.
They're just allowed to go anywhere all the time.
I know. It's like Frankie went to class, but yeah, they all just showed up.
They had they have a free first period.
That's it.
They have study hall, so they show up late.
In my school, study hall was so restrictive that like you couldn't talk to anybody. You could only work in groups if you went to the library. So we'd constantly like get library passes and pretend we were working in a group just so we could have like a little bit of time to ourselves.
I would get a library pass and say I was going to the library, but then I would sign into the library and then I would just leave. But then once I had to overdo library books, so I got caught because they were like calling out my name in the library to try to like hunt me down for my library books, and I was not there.
Yeah, we were so restricted. Like, even lunch, we had 25 minutes to eat lunch, and it's like, all right, so this can't be social hour either because we barely have enough time to eat, let alone talk to each other.
We had a whole class period, and I would make Katie braid my hair.
I was gonna say,
or sometimes we would play telephone.
Yeah, I was gonna say, once I had like a calf study, and if it was on like what is it called, block days, I would be in the cafeteria for an hour and a half for a study.
I loved that
for a study
that
hall.
was the best.
And then if you were a senior, you didn't have to show up for it.
Yeah, I made Becky cut my hair once in a calf study.
God. And Bethany, like, this is the funny thing is, like, I always considered myself weird, but like the shit that you did in
oh my god, I was so much weirder.
Was so much weirder, and it's like, oh, I guess
I would dance at people in the hallway.
Yeah, I was like, no wonder
that
Bethany.
Was my favorite. That was my favorite. You just like it's really busy in the hallway, and then you're going this way, and someone else is going that way, and all of a sudden you just jump across in front of them, and you're like, and then you just run off. That was my favorite to do.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I was always like looking back, like, how did Bethany get bullied? I don't understand. Like, she was like, she's just so nice. Like, I don't get it. And it's like, because you were doing fucking freaky ass shit like that.
Yeah, I was Bug Girl.
What?
Do you remember that?
No.
That when Tim started hanging out with Jamie Comrie, he was like, "Yo, dude, your sister's Bug Girl." And I didn't know, but apparently the cool older kids in marching band called me Bug Girl because there was a football game one time where there was these really big cockroaches, and people were like, "Oh my god, the cockroaches!" And I was like, "You guys, they're just cockroaches." And I like picked it up and was like, "Look at this cockroach, you guys! It's just a cockroach."
Because they didn't know we lived in filth,
and I was like letting it crawl all over me, and then it bit me. So
oh my god. Yeah, and
Jesus Christ.
That apparently made an impression on people. And so years later, like a decade after high school, I was still remembered by Jamie as Bug Girl because he was a few years ahead of me. So we like had mutual friends, but like we weren't friends.
Oh my god.
And so apparently he always remembered me as Bug Girl. And when he made the connection of that I was Timmy's little sister, he was like, "Oh my god, dude.
See,
Your sister's Bug Girl." And he told Tim the story, and then Tim was like, "Why were you so weird? What's wrong with you?"
I mean, because I was the kid in school that, like, yeah, people would be like, "Oh, gross, a bug," and then I'd go up and be like, "Taken care of," and then like would go sit down. But like Bethany was vegetarian, so she wasn't. She was about
I was
to
like, "It's just a bug.
befriend that
Leave it
bug."
alone." I did befriend it, but then it bit me. It was really rude.
Yeah, I was like, "I'm gonna murder it."
It was gigantic too. I'm pretty sure I got pictures.
Oh my god. No, I did not know that. And
Definitely
now
got
everything
pictures.
makes sense. Yep.
Yeah.
You should have been bullied. You deserved it.
Oh my god, I was really nice. And I never listen. Here's the thing: I never got bullied about like the really weird shit.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
bullied about like you're bad at gym class and you can't
Oh,
catch
yeah.
the ball.
I mean, I really enjoyed sports before I had arthritis.
No, hated it. I
So
think I
it
was
was
born. I'm pretty sure I was born with arthritis.
You were born with rickets and you didn't realize.
I was born with terminal laziness.
Yeah. Maybe no, it was like from Golden Girls. I went to Golden Girls trivia, and that book that Mom also had on it, which was chronic fatigue syndrome.
Oh, yes.
I think I have that.
Yeah, Dorothy had it, and nobody believed her. So yes, we're in. Okay, yeah, we're still on this. Here.
Okay, so it's Winston and Zoe and
yes, we're
Lady
yes,
and
as I'm calling them,
crazy
it's either,
scooter kids.
It's Team Miston or Team Tiles. I don't know which one we like better.
I like Tiles.
Team Tiles, okay.
Or I think Trials. Because you got to have the R from Tristan.
Oh, Trials. Okay,
Trials.
okay.
And it really, it brings up to thought all the trials and tribulations that they've been through as a couple.
That's true. Okay, so Team Trials. And then they're squaring up against Team Zinston or Team Wowie.
Wowie? I like Wowie.
I like Wowie.
All right, so it's Team Trials versus Team Wowie. anyways, neither couple has a great name, but they're arguing about who the better couple is.
The better hottest
yes,
power
hottest
couple.
power
couple.
Totally
I don't know what they're
normal stuff to fight about.
I know.
That's
I don't know
high
what they're doing for the school, but anyways. Zoe thinks that it's them because Winston brings her an annoyingly specific beverage every day. But Tristan thinks it's them because their Hastygram pictures regularly get 150 plus likes.
Whoa.
So yeah, we're about to have a Hastygram competition. Whoever gets the most pic likes by the end of the day wins. Miles offers to take the picture while secretly trying to get them run over by a moped. Luckily, he's being a dick and taking a video instead of a picture anyways, and capture Winston spraining his ankle to save Zoe's latte.
My lady.
Cute. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Winston is like, did you get the video? Like, he knew it was going to be a video?
Right.
I thought you
thought
were
it was a
supposed to be
picture.
taking a picture. Did you sense that I was about to get killed and take a video instead? Because I think
Yep.
Winston and Miles have best friend connection. So I think he mentally was like, I'm about to get run over and killed.
They have good telepathy with each other?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that's it. Yeah. Anyways, the video was adorbs. Their tote's gonna win. # love hurts. Yeah, now we are in Jonah's car. Frankie is freaking out to Jonah about how awful school is and suggests they just disappear. Jonah insists that school will get better, but Frankie wants to go to Costa Rica.
I don't know why she just doesn't go to America where she could like hide out at a Trump rally.
Oh my god, right? No, because she'd how do you think she'd pronounce America if she says Costa Rica? Let's go to America.
America.
I don't know.
America.
I think if she
that's
was
cute.
like, if she came to a Trump rally and she was like, "Hi, I'm an illegal immigrant," they'd be like, "Oh," and she'd be like, "Don't worry, I'm not brown," and they'd be like, "Yes,
Exactly.
I'm fleeing
snap,
Canada
yeah.
because of persecution," and they'd be like, "What are you being persecuted for?" And she's like, "Well, I did
I'm
a really
racist."
racist thing, and people are saying they don't like it," and they're like, "Welcome, you found your people." We are also persecuted here for our beliefs.
Mhm.
So,
Amen,
yeah,
sister.
I think that's.
We're having a straight pride parade tomorrow. You want to join?
Oh my god,
Oh,
they legit did
yeah.
that in Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah, how many people actually showed up? I didn't actually see any news coverage on
I
it.
don't
Way
know.
more protesters than people,
I figured,
straight
yeah.
pride people, and I think it was like 100 or 200 straight pride
That's
people.
it. Yeah.
Oh my god, I love it. In a city of like
So many people, and the people who showed up came from all over the
All over,
country
yeah.
for that 100 people.
oh.
And nobody in our family went, right?
I mean, not that I know of.
I planned to go to protest, and then I forgot about it, and then I was reading it on my feed. I'm like, God damn it, I wanted to go there, but I had something else to do that day anyway.
Oh, be heterosexual somewhere else, Jesse?
Yeah.
That's where you had to be?
I had my personal straight pride parade.
And Johnny's like, "Can you just go sit down?" And you're like marching through the apartment.
You're like-
I'm straight. I'm so
Kitty
straight.
was following.
He was like, "Can you not right now?" And then you were like out in the hallway. The neighbors complained.
Anyways, yes, Jonah agrees to fleeing somewhere less scenic, and they drive away ditching school. However, I am assuming that everybody was ditching school that day, or skipping, because literally there was 2 cars in the parking lot. And, if I recall back in our day, all those spots were filled.
Yes.
Every
Oh,
spot
yes.
they had to put a car, they filled it. So the fact that
Right.
there was no cars in that parking lot, again, continuity on Degrassi's part, I was like, no one's at school.
Senior skip day.
Yeah, I'm like, what is it? It's racist skip day. That's what it is.
Oh,
There's a
probably.
lot of races at Degrassi.
Was the school day over? Maybe
No.
It was the beginning.
It just
of school day.
started.
because she went to the one class
Yeah.
Right.
with what's his face.
Boz?
Yeah,
No, Mr. Hot Sauce?
yeah, Mr. Hot Sauce.
I was thinking of Boz calling her out. He was there, but Mr.
No,
Hot Sauce.
I was thinking of Mr. Perino, the other teacher that did a racist thing on Next Generation, but that was a different.
Oh.
That wasn't him. That was Zoe's in his class later.
Yep. Yeah, so now we're in the hallway, and Tiny is examining the pills that his mumbo-jumbo girlfriend gave him.
They have no label. They look
No.
very sketchy.
Exactly. But Grace insists that she can take as many as he wants because they won't do anything. She was also a pharmacist before she became a high schooler. Because that's a weird, she looks at it.
She
she's
has
like,
a chronic illness. She's probably taken every drug known to man. Okay.
She's definitely been given homeopathic pills by Mambo Jumbo Guys.
And she's like, oh yeah, these ones. These say sugar pill on them.
You know
Tiny.
what? You guys are right. I'm an asshole. I was like, how does she know? I thought was no, but you're probably right though. She probably has been in like clinical tests where like the one they give her sugar pills or whatever or something. And
I think she was just being an asshole about his snake oil.
Grace, if you and
I don't think she really knew.
if you and Five, your band, or Fiv, if you're listening, I'm sorry that I doubted the character of Grace. If
Grace would know.
If Five is listening, what was it?
It's the fifth something.
The fifth circle is something.
The Veeth.
The Veeth circle.
The Veeth circle.
The Veeth circle.
But Tiny is concerned because he has no time to go to the doctor, what with that essay that requires at least 12 hours of work. Grace thinks Tiny's stomach ache is a guilty conscience because she can tell that he likes Shay, which is emotional cheating.
She has eyeballs.
She has eyeballs. She's like, my eyeballs aren't sick, Landon.
He's cheating emotionally.
Zig doesn't believe in emotional cheating. Shocker.
No.
He doesn't believe in any cheating.
He's like, you gotta cheat for real.
Like I did.
Down by the quarry with Zoe. It doesn't count. Yeah, so Tiny feels bad because Lola basically started a race riot in his honor. So anyways, he's shit out of luck either way, so he might as well down some homosexual pills.
I don't know why he didn't just tell her he took the pills. Okay, this is a girl that thought her vibrator was like a really cool keychain. So like he could just say, oh yeah, I took all these pills, and she would not catch on. Girl's dumb as rocks.
Yeah, no, she really fucking is.
He did not need to dry swallow those weird pills in the hallway.
Everyone on TV dry swallows. I don't understand.
I'm sorry. I feel like I haven't heard the word dry swallow in a long time. And the fact that both said it back to back.
Dry swallow.
Well, I said it because you said
That's the name of our band. It's called Dry Swallow.
That's my new OkCupid name.
Dry Swallow.
Into oral, but it will be very dry.
I'm into sandpaper like tongues, blowjobs. I basically have amputated my tongue to be that of a cat's, and I am going to give you the roughest, driest blowjob you've ever had, young man.
Sold.
So get ready.
Sold.
Here comes the dry swallow.
Dry swallow 37.
Spitters or quitters?
Because, well, it's going to have to be a number because you know that name's already taken.
Spitters or quitters?
That's going to be the next Gmail account I make. So when
dry swallow 37.
When I make a sock account on Facebook to yell at somebody who blocked me.
Listen, guys. Okay, spitters or quitters, but dry swallowers are my followers.
Gross. Get out.
So, gentlemen, you can find me at okcupid.com. Dry
swallow
69. 420. Anyways.
Dry swallow 69 420.
Both of you dry swallow.
Underscore nice.
Nice. It was going to be noise. Here's an O. Noise. So that's me. Yeah, cut to class. Zoe, Miles, and Tristan are rewatching the #LoveHurts video while Winston elevates his sprained ankle.
Nobody gives a shit.
Nobody gives a shit.
He's
Zoe's
like, you
getting
guys,
cocky.
by the way, I sprained my ankle, and they're like, nobody cares.
Shut up, Winston. Look at this video. It's cute. Zoe is getting cocky about the reposts when Shane Dawson.
YouTube royalty. YouTube royalty.
Yo, Shane motherfucking Dawson. Dude.
So the best part about that is that like years and years ago, probably like 10 years ago, he made a Degrassi parody video.
Wait, is Shane Dawson's a real person?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's real YouTube royalty.
I don't go on the internet.
He recently made a bunch of like docu-series about problematic YouTubers like Jeffree Star. Do you know who that is?
Yeah. Oh, I thought he was a makeup artist also. Is he not?
No.
Who am I thinking of?
No clue.
Are you thinking of the guy that was the first male cover girl? Although I think Jeffree Star did makeup stuff too, didn't he?
Yeah, Jeffree Star
like makeup
sells
tutorials.
Makeup.
Oh, maybe that's
sells
what it
makeup.
is. Maybe
He's
it's
like
the makeup.
a millionaire because he sells makeup.
That's what it is I'm thinking of. Anyways, okay.
But yeah, Shane Dawson did a parody video on YouTube like 10 years ago, but it was super racist because he did blackface.
Oh my god.
Oh.
He's since apologized and changed. But yeah, he did blackface, and it was really like raunchy and like offensive, but also had its funny stuff. Like at the time I thought it was funny, but at the time, like, people weren't nearly as woke as they are today.
You weren't woke Jessie yet.
These are the moments that I'm like, thank God YouTube wasn't a thing when we were kids.
Oh, God.
Oh my God.
Because all our weird videos that we made with like our home camcorder would have been all over the internet, and they were weird as hell.
Yeah,
They really were. Drunken Dave show with the
Yeah,
Barbie dolls.
what is that? Why? What? What was wrong with us?
Yeah, just for the record, we used to make a lot of weird videos, including like
Yeah.
Barbie videos, where we had a guy named Drunken Dave who had pants on his head.
Yeah, because he was so drunk. And I think you put your
Oh.
pants on your head when you're drunk.
That's
Right.
what
And
I
then
did.
we had there was like a Barbie helmet that had this like long curly blonde hair attached to it,
Oh,
and we
God.
put
Yes,
it in a
that
Ken
we would
doll
use
to make Michael Bolton
Bolton
Barbie.
Barbie. Yes, Michael Bolton Barbie.
And
Then we made a horror movie with Barbies, and
Yes.
we cut down the middle of their head, and then we put ketchup in
Lots
it,
of
and
ketchup.
we pulled her head apart.
We left all the ketchup Barbies all over the backyard forever.
I
All
can't.
right, so Winston and Zoe win.
yeah, and Shane Dawson. I didn't even know that was a real person. Anyways,
Yeah, I mean, I do always get him mixed up with like Logan Paul and Pootie Pie.
Oh, God.
Dawson's Creek.
They're all just the famous YouTube guys. So
Yeah.
they're all the same in my head. They're the famous YouTube white
Oh,
guys.
God.
Yeah. So, anyways, they've been retweeted or re-chirped or
They haven't been retweeted. They've been
Instagrammed,
reposted.
reposted. Yeah,
You can't retweet on Hastygram.
I only I barely you know me, I don't understand Instagram or Hastygram or any kind of gram except for graham crackers.
What about a Valleygram?
Nope. So anyways, the teacher is like really super chill about their phones, and he's just like, hey you guys, I need you to concentrate. And so he just like puts her phone face up on the table and is like, sorry, I'm not gonna look at it, I promise. It was like, anyways, it made me feel very like, back in my day, the teachers used to take your phones away. Like, I don't.
Back in my day, we didn't have cell phones
I know, I
for
was
the
gonna say,
teachers
I
to take
I
away.
did have a cell phone all through high school, and like you would legit get them taken from you. And you could like people were barely texting back then. Like I didn't.
Right.
I remember I would get to school and I would turn it off because like what would I need it for, right?
Yeah. Your little Nokia.
I feel like back then you also like had to be careful with who you called and text because it cost money.
Mhm.
Yes, you only had like so many minutes.
Yeah, no.
You weren't gonna waste them being
Yeah.
like under your desk in math. Like, hey, where are you?
Yeah.
Oh, you're in study hall.
Cool.
I'm in math. Miss F. Safiva
Yeah,
called
it's
me.
not after 9 p.m., so it's not free nights and weekends.
I got my Barbie dolls taken away because I was being disruptive with them in French class.
Oh my God, Bethany.
What?
I
It's just normal high school stuff to have a lunchbox that you use as a purse and fill it with Barbie dolls when you're a junior in high school. It's just normal stuff.
I mean, I had a pink plastic suitcase filled with stuff from the Dollar Tree, like stickers.
Yeah.
I brought a Barbie doll around. I had a
Mhm.
bunch of props for
Mhm.
drama class.
They were Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen Barbie dolls.
Well,
so they
why
were
didn't you say that in the
cool.
first place?
So they were cool. And I was showing them the girl next to me, and then we started passing them around, and it was apparently disruption into the class. Whatever.
I'll never forget or forgive my teacher for losing the video that we made for that project.
Oh
we
my
used
God,
Barbie dolls and we made a
yes.
travel brochure video.
I don't think they lost it. I think they brought it home for their own personal
I-
entertainment.
We worked so hard on it and I turned it in and I was so proud we were going to watch it in class. This was in like 8th grade. And she's like, I lost it. And I'm like, what?
Did you get an A?
I don't remember what my grade was, but the sucky thing is we didn't make a copy of it. And I thought it was
Mhm.
hilarious. And I was really just mad we lost the copy.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so anyways, Zoe decides that her and Winston should go out tonight to celebrate their victory over Miles and Tristan, or as we said, Team Trials.
Trials.
Yeah, so now we're at the dot. Shay is convincing Tiny to talk about his favorite giant squids in the essay. Like he wasn't going to do that anyways, like let's be real.
Right.
All
he
he,
was going to write his own essay about it just for his
all
personal
he does is
use.
talk about marine biology. Like, what
just-
else was he going to say?
Just pull a page out of your diary, Tiny.
Honestly, I know.
We know it's all about marine life.
He's got it already done. Like, I don't know why he's even fucking around. But Tiny can't react to this brilliant idea because he's in too much pain because Lola's pills didn't work.
Shocker.
Shay is not shocked and starts giving Tiny a medical exam. Starts giving Tiny a medical exam right there at the counter.
Just poking your friends in the tummy.
Yeah.
Just
While
normal.
gazing into their
Oh
eyes.
my
Just
God.
normal friendship tummy pokes.
That's what I'm saying. Tiny is shook. He didn't know women could be doctors. Shay passes the doctor-patient boundaries by smiling flirtatiously at Tiny as she continues her examination. I guess it's not an exam, it's examination. But Tiny likes it. He won't sue her for it. But one bad touch lets Shay know that it's time for Tiny to stop being such a man and to get his ass to a doctor. So that's where they go, off into the sunset to the hospital. All right, so we're at the cheapest motel in town.
Right. I'm just like, what? You'd think she could at least get a Best Western or something? Like, she's rich.
No, because hotels won't rent to like random teenagers, and like a Best Western would ask to see some ID, and they'd be like, "Ma'am, you are 16 and a half.
Ma'am.
Ma'am, we need a credit card." Notice she
I was
paid
gonna
in
say
cash.
she probably has a credit card.
That's-
I would think, but it would
she
it
probably
would
does
alert
have
her
a credit
mom.
card.
But anyways, Frankie and Jonah are checking into their hideout and decide reluctantly that one bed is enough for both of them.
Ooh.
When Jonah leaves the lobby to check on his car, because I guess that's something they do in Canada, Beth, the motel
He
worker,
goes to pop the tire.
They're calling me out.
Beth, the
Oh, yeah.
motel
the writers
worker,
are shouting out to me.
does her best to make sure Frankie's not about to get sex trafficked or put in a situation that she's not ready
That's
to.
exactly what I
She was
said.
so concerned.
Beth had to make sure Frankie wasn't being
She's
human
like,
trafficked.
good job,
I put in my
Beth.
notes.
Good job.
A plus. See, they were. That was a shout out to me because I would absolutely
They're like, what?
be very concerned for Frankie. Also, why is this guy checking on his car?
Yeah.
And he's back in like 0.5 seconds. Like, did he just look out the window?
I'm telling you, he popped his own tire.
Oh my god, he probably did. He probably did like a light slice so
just
that.
in case she tried to escape.
That's probably it.
I'm going to go check the trunk of the car to make sure the other girls are still in there. But anyways, so good on Beth for making sure Frankie's safe, but Frankie insists that she's just fine and shoves money in Beth's face. He's like, don't you want my money?
You don't have any other business.
Right. I love it when they get into the room and they're so underwhelmed by it. It's like, they were expecting the 4 seasons. Like, I don't know. They're just like, oh, wood paneling? No, not even
Yeah, it doesn't even look like the grossest
right?
motel
It
room
looks
I've ever
fine.
seen.
But they're like, no ocean view? Fine. But Frankie is down for some bank robber on the run role playing, which Jonah makes the choice that his character is a Southern grandma. Come here, sugar. It's like, what the fuck was that?
I took note of their matching denim.
Oh.
He had a sweet denim jacket. She had the overalls.
Oh.
I think he was wearing jeans too, so that would be what you'd call a Canadian tuxedo.
Right.
Yeah, there we go. Then Frankie's mom calls just as their acting is getting really bad. But Frankie ignores the call so they can keep making out.
Oh yeah.
She can't stop him this time.
Nope. Can't stop the feeling. Got this feeling in my body. Come on. That you don't think they were?
I don't know that song.
It's from
Boom,
Trolls,
boom,
the
boom,
movie.
boom, 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 boom.
Why don't you have the Trolls soundtrack?
I was like,
memorized,
I played it
Jessica?
for the baby I was babysitting today, Jesse. Why didn't you play it for your
the
cat?
Trolls? The Trolls soundtrack is a jam.
Yeah,
by
no,
the
I
way.
know how you feel about it, Bethany. I don't have to
I
ask.
love it.
I know how you feel about
I
it.
love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I haven't watched kids' movies in a long time.
You gotta watch Trolls. Trolls is the best.
I don't think I'm taking that advice.
Then
I
we're not
vote
friends anymore.
Moana.
Fine.
Moana's good too.
I like Moana.
You like the part that says, "What is wrong with me?"
What is wrong with me? And then the girl
You get into
the girl
it.
I babysit is like, why do you sing that part like so enthusiastically? And I'm like, because like not all kids had self-esteem when they were your age. Okay, like fuck your parents for treating you correctly and like you have good self-esteem.
I like to jam out in the car to the Trolls soundtrack, and I scream cry along to the one where she's like, I will get back up again. Oh, 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 oh.
And Marshall's like, Mommy, why are you crying?
Mommy, why are you crying in the front seat? No, I can't think that way because I know that I'm really, really, really going to be okay.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. These goddamn kids' movies. So now we're in Lola's parents' restaurant, and Zoe is focused on their post likes while Winston is trying to decide which Mexican food is the most romantic. He decides on fondue, which I doubt that they have at a Mexican restaurant.
And it's really weird. He's like, tacos aren't very
think he means
romantic. How about
queso.
fondue?
I
I thought maybe he was suggesting they go to a different restaurant.
That's what I thought too.
I felt like he wanted to leave.
I'm hoping that he's just stupid and they're going to order queso fundido, which is not romantic. I don't know if you guys know about queso fundido. It's delicious. It's literally just like a fucking bowl of melted cheese with chorizo on top. And
You
it's
don't like pour that over your lover?
yeah, and then he's like, I'm gonna throw it like a frisbee at your fucking chest, bitch. 'Cause it's always like thick. It's not like
She's
it's
like, I got third-degree burns
Yeah.
from the very hot queso.
It depends on the restaurant. Sometimes it's like creamier, but sometimes it's like literally like you're like ripping a hunk of cheese off, and it's delicious. It's fucking great. But like romantic, no. So I don't know if Winston's
gonna get a lot of gas.
That's what I'm
Listen,
saying.
hashtag love hurts, all right? You just gotta pour it over each other.
Pour some queso
on me.
Yep. Anyways,
Cause you know love hurts.
anyways, Winston wants to take a romantic walk by the water later, which thrills Zoe because they can film another farcical video of Winston falling. But Winston isn't having it. He's sick of Zoe.
That's gonna be our thing. You always
I know,
almost
because
die.
she's like, I'm trying to.
They have to establish their brand.
Yes, she does use the word
Yes,
brand.
he's sick of Zoe trying to make them hashtag relationship goals because Zoe doesn't seem like she thinks they're a great couple unless the internet does. Winston storms off, leaving Zoe alone with her real love, the internet.
So Winston does not realize that he's a beard.
No. Oh, not at all.
No.
All right. I haven't watched the whole season.
So, flash forward to the hospital. Tiny makes a sweet dad joke. Actually, I wrote sweet sad joke. Whoopsies.
It's pretty
his doctor was
I know.
sad that that's like the 50th time he's
It
heard
was
the
like,
joke.
good
that
one,
day.
bro. I'm the ultrasound tech.
Yeah, he was like, I've never heard that one before. Good
Every
line.
man.
It reminded me of when customers come up to the front of the line and go, "Oh, there's no price tag, must be free."
Or like when they hand you their empty plate at a restaurant and they're like, I didn't like
I
it.
hated it.
Oh, anyways. Anything else I can get for you? How about a bag of money? So anyways.
Anything else you need? $1 million. And I'm pregnant.
So the doctor assumes Tiny and Shay are a couple and they're both super awkward about it. But the point is, Tiny needs emergency surgeries for his appendicitis. Lola comes bursting in, pushing past Shay to hug Tiny. It's been the most dramatic day ever.
Hug him right in the appendix.
Literally, she's so fucking stupid. Lola is shook because no one told her Tiny's injury could be serious. Except for Shay. Shay definitely did.
Except for Shay and Tiny and everyone but Lola.
Yeah. Anyways, Frankie's mom texts the girls because Frankie ran away. Drama. Or could it be because of them? Maybe. Oh, and Tiny went into surgery. I didn't write that down, but it's implied. He's in surgery now. He's dead.
No, he makes it out, and he doesn't have a bill because this is Canada, and they have universal health care.
That's why he could just go without like his parents'
yeah.
permission. They were just like,
Right? Can you imagine as a high schooler being like, let's go to the ER? Like, no, my parents will kill me. There will be a large bill from that. If this were America, he would be doing the homeopathic stuff because he could not afford the doctor because he has no parents.
I still feel bad about that time that I called an ambulance on Dad. Because he wasn't, he was definitely, he had a fever and he wasn't answering my questions correctly.
Listen, he wound up having to be hospitalized, and he had to. He was very sick, and he wouldn't get in the car.
Yeah,
with
I was
you,
like, Dad, do you need to go to the hospital? He was like, no, I'm fine. And then I was like, I'm gonna call 911 on you anyways.
Oh, God.
And then, it wasn't until days later he was like, Kylie, why didn't you just take me? And I was like, well, you did.
You wouldn't go with me.
You said no. So I called the cops on your ass.
Listen, when the ambulance showed up and said, yes, this is serious, he could have said, I'm declining the ambulance ride.
Oh.
Carly, will you drive me to the ER?
Well, I guess he'd already pissed himself, so I don't know that he had the capacity to, like, answer that
God.
question.
Well, then he probably needed to go in the ambulance. Back to the restaurant.
Back to the restaurant.
Zoe.
When are we going to know the name of Lola's parents' restaurant? Like,
Yeah, they
Isn't
never
it called
mentioned it.
Lola's?
no.
Oh, it
Is
might
it?
be.
I feel like it's called Lola's.
I actually think that's right.
I feel
They
like there's
just-
like a sign. Like I don't think they say it, but I feel like the sign says Lola's.
Right.
Oh, that's
I
cute.
think we've only seen that sign like one time because now that you say it, I remember it. But like they're always just at the restaurant. We never see the outside.
Except for the time when Miles showed up very drunk and or high or whatever
Tried to whip it out
with what's her face and tried to show everyone his wiener.
Yeah, anyways, I don't know. Zoe, sitting by herself with her phone, she's sad. And luckily, they're not in America, so there's an open flame on the table for her to reburn her arm. The reason I say that is because I was just in Ireland, and the thing that my friend Marianne and I were like most shocked by is we went, like, one of the first bars we went to, it was like a really cute old-timey bar. I mean, everything in fucking Ireland looks old. But anyways, they had these like legit long stem candles on all the tables, and Marianne and I were like, oh my God.
Drunk people are gonna knock.
Yeah,
those
we
over.
were like, oh my God, like, I could burn myself if I wanted to. I could light this whole place on fire. My hair could catch on fire. Like, this is so dangerous. Holy shit. And
Are you saying in other countries they trust people not to be complete
no,
morons?
in other countries, they trust people not to sue them for everything. And that's the difference. In America, they don't give you the option because they know that people will sue.
They know
for
you're gonna hurt
everything.
yourself on purpose and then sue them.
But honestly, though, exactly.
Yeah,
that's exactly
it's true.
it.
Guilty.
And so,
Guilty.
we were just shocked by. We were like literally taking pictures with this candle, like we've never seen a fucking candle before. But we're like, oh my God, wow.
Then you lit your hair on
I
fire. and tried to
almost
sue the
did
restaurant.
taking pictures. I was like, wow, a candle. I've never
Look,
seen
it's
one.
fire.
Yeah, literally just amazingly shocked. So that's why there's a candle on the table for her to burn herself because they're
Just
in
like
Canada.
in the middle of the restaurant and no one's freaking noticing that she's like, I'm holding my.
No,
Listen,
it's Canada. She's
as
allowed.
someone who has intentionally burned themselves for self-harm as a high schooler, it takes way longer than that. It takes way longer than that.
Bethany was like, the realism in this episode.
The realism in
blows.
this scene, you can't. It's like she was on there for like a second, and she was like, no, it hurts. You cannot just hold your hand up to a flame long enough to burn it. You can't, because you will pull back. What you're gonna want to do is get a metal thing.
Bethany,
pull
please
that
don't.
on the
Bethany,
flame.
Bethany, this is 13 reasons why you
Okay.
shouldn't do this. Which I feel like that's a slippery slope.
Is that
to go
too
down.
far?
Yeah, we don't tell
Is that too
tell
far?
people how to harm themselves.
Listen, this is America. We could get
We could get
This is
sued.
America.
Bethany.
Cut
Shut
that
it
out.
down.
Cut
Shut
that
it
out.
down. Okay.
I'm just saying.
I-
That's not how it works.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's fair. You can say that's not how it works, but we don't need to teach the kids at home how to do it.
You can't. I'm going to tell you how.
kids
I'm
are
going to
not
tell you how
supposed
you
to
harm
be
yourself.
Listen,
No,
kids,
I'm not.
get your notepads out.
Listen, kids, stop listening for one thing. You're too young.
Okay, like they can't just like look it up on Reddit anyway.
Oh, I don't know about Reddit. Anyways, I think she was reburning her arm. Like, I think the burn was like, wasn't she just redoing the burn
Yeah.
that was already there? Anyways,
Oh, did she get a burn from before?
She had a burn in a few episodes
With
before
a-
this.
yeah.
That happened on accident.
it was a curling
and
iron,
Gotcha.
but it literally singed her skin
Okay.
as if she touched the sun. Like, it was.
Well, I mean, I feel like a curling
They're
iron
pretty rough.
could do
But she was like
that,
bleeding.
honestly.
I was like, damn. Anyways, but it looked pretty healed. Like, anywho.
Okay.
So she posts the picture.
I gotcha. I thought that whole mark was from her holding her arm above the flame for like half a second. And I'm like, no.
And they even made like the singeing noise. You know what I mean? Like, she put it there and it was
Ugh.
like sizzle, sizzle. It was like you were.
She had very hairy arms since that was the hair singeing.
I just assumed, I was like, oh my God, are we at Chili's? Are my fajitas coming? Ooh, where are they? Yum.
Did you ever light a Barbie doll's hair on fire? 'Cause
No,
that smells
no, I
bad.
did not. What were you guys doing where I was like being locked out of the room?
I'm lighting Barbie doll's hair on
Jesus
fire.
Christ.
Mom was like, you can't have candles in your room. And I was like, I'm just going to sneak them in.
Right.
Just going to sneak them in and light my doll's hair on fire.
Yeah, so anyway, okay, yeah, she posted that picture of the burn mark with the hashtag loves hurts. And
So on brand.
yeah.
I feel like it makes it seem like Winston burned
That's what I'm
her.
saying. Like, she's
Right?
not at all concerned that it's going to make Winston look abusive. Like, if it's posted right after
Yeah.
their fucking Love Hurts video, like, that's just making
I didn't
Winston
even think
look
about
abusive.
that.
That was my first thing. I'm like, is she saying Winston did that?
It
Like,
makes
I
it seem
don't
like it,
understand.
for sure.
Because I feel like if I saw someone with a burned arm and they said love hurts, I wouldn't assume like, oh, they burned their arm on a restaurant
Right.
at a restaurant on the candle on purpose. I would be like, did they just like, did their loved one burn them?
Right.
Maybe what happened was that Winston was like, no, Zoe, that's not how you do it. What you're going to want to do is, just like that.
But I wonder, did she hashtag it with other things? I can't remember. To like imply self-harm?
No, it was just love. It was like, she was like, hashtag love
Yeah, I think that
hurts.
was literally
Send.
it.
Jesus.
It was just love hurts.
Yikes, Zoe.
All right,
But
can we-
everybody got that it was self-harm somehow.
Okay, yeah. So, anyways, back at the motel then. Frankie is laying in the motel bed, fully clothed, like no sex happened.
Jonah's
Jonah is just like, getting
showering.
out of the shower, like sex did happen. So I don't know. I'm not what
He
show
needs a
happened.
shower
Anyways.
after sleeping in that gross motel bed.
But yeah, probably. She's totally fine with it. Either way, Frankie can hear everything Jonah is saying on the phone to his mom because the door is fucking open.
And literally, she
good
walks
job,
in and he's
Jonah.
like, "Oh, you heard that, didn't you?" Like, yeah, because you were
like, "The door's
talking
open, you
loudly
dumb
with
shit."
The door open 3 feet from where I was.
Yeah. So Frankie confronts Jonah about the conversation he had with his mom. Jonah pushes back, asking Frankie if she still thinks that she's the victim in all of this, and pressuring her to just apologize. It's not that he thinks she's racist, he just thinks that she doesn't get it and she's not trying to. Frankie storms off before she says something that she'll have to apologize for later, which is probably the smartest thing that she could have done. I was very proud of Jonah. I was like, yeah, fucking tell her.
Yeah.
Tell
No,
her.
he makes a good point. Like, he's pretty much like, you did a racist thing and you're not trying to make any effort to understand
Why it's racist.
why what you did was wrong. Like, I think there are a lot of people who, you know, aren't necessarily, I don't know. Like, I think, I'm trying to word this without it being like, but I think sometimes like people, you know, hear that they did a racist thing and they like feel attacked. And it's like,
Right.
no, we're talking about your actions here. Like, I'm not saying that you are a terrible garbage person. I'm saying that because, you know, you're white, you don't understand what someone of color is going through. And so you did an insensitive thing. And so let's talk about how you can fix it and not do
Right.
that again.
They think you're like attacking their character entirely. But it's like when they double down or act defensive, it's like, well, now I'm kind of thinking you are a
Right.
racist.
You're not
Right?
listening.
Since your reaction wasn't, yikes, I didn't realize that was so bad. I'm
Right.
sorry. Whoops.
Yeah, because you're like, la la la
Like,
la la.
I
can't hear
didn't
you.
know any, exactly. Like, I think every white person has probably done something in their
yeah.
life that was
Mhm.
racist.
Plenty. I think people have done a lot of things that are
You know,
racist without realizing.
And yeah, and not, microaggressions
Mhm.
even. Like,
Mhm.
and, you know, and when you're called on it, the appropriate response is like, oh, crap, I didn't know. I'm really sorry. Can you help me understand?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wasn't, you know, that wasn't my intention, but I totally get, you know, if you say that it was offensive to you, then I
Yeah.
believe you.
Right.
Can you help me figure out how I don't
Yeah.
do that again?
There are also a lot of people who are obsessed with being right.
Oh, yeah.
yes.
And they have like they have to convince themselves
Right.
like, no, I should be allowed to say that or do
Right.
that. I'm not a racist.
Right.
You
like
know,
the
and-
idea that, like,
Can't admit they did anything wrong.
If I'm not a racist, then I can't have done anything
right.
racist.
And it's okay to make mistakes. People make mistakes. It's about how you fix them.
right.
Mhm.
We're not perfect. So now it's school the next day, and Tristan approaches a very satisfied with herself Zoe and pulls back her sleeve to reveal her burn. Tristan thinks she's imploding because she won't admit that she's gay, and that her and Winston are a fake relationship.
I like how she seemed surprised that he knew about the burn.
Right.
What are you doing?
How do you know? He's like, I saw your post. Like, yeah, dude, you posted that publicly. What do you mean? What is
Yeah.
he doing? Everyone knows you have a
Right.
burnt arm now. This is not
Yep.
a secret.
And yet it seems to only be Tristan that
That
saw it.
noticed.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was only Tristan because Winston definitely didn't see it, and
It was a weird close-up picture. Everyone was like, I don't know what that is. Do you have bad
I'm not
tan
sure.
lines?
Yeah, I don't know. I think she like had a cherry popsicle and then it spilled on her arm or something. I'm not sure. Anyway, Zoe feels judged by Tristan because she can't just be out and proud like him. They go back and forth with backhanded comments and continue to be awful friends to each other. Cute.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that Tristan does, I feel like he's done this multiple times, is he'll say something like mean to her and she'll say it back and he's like,
But like,
over
that's
the line.
rich, Zoe.
like,
Yeah.
you crossed the line. Like, okay, you did first.
Yeah. I think the thing that really stuck out to me here is, you know, he basically says like, "Are you doing all this for attention?" And I think that's something that we say to people who have, you know, depression or who self-harm or, you know, people who, you know, are having issues with their mental health. It's, well, you're doing this for attention.
Right.
Like, yes, people often do a lot of things for attention when they're trying to cry for help. Yeah. You know, I mean, I self-harmed as a teenager, and there were a lot of times where, you know, particularly our mother was very dismissive of, you know, of what I was experiencing, and would kind of tell me like, all teenagers go through angst.
Oh,
And,
yeah,
you know,
angst.
and I would say like, but all teenagers don't cut themselves, Mom. And she
Right.
was kind of like, oh, you're so dramatic. Like,
oh God.
you know, or the time I tried to kill myself, and, you know, years later I have found out from Carly that Mom told her that I didn't, and I was like making it up.
Yeah, no,
attention.
because I remember that night, like, because, you know, we had a really functioning household, and so Mom and I were sleeping on futons in the living room, because that's where we slept at night, and watching Jay Leno, and I remember you coming in, and you were like, I drank cleaner, and Mom was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? What? And you're like, I drank cleaner, or something, like right? Like, wasn't it cleaner or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like a cleaner. Like I went and picked something out of the cupboard and
Yeah.
drank. Like honestly, it was a very pathetic suicide attempt. I drank like a sip and then was like, this is gross. And I don't think I want to do this, but it just, you know, I was 15 and
Yeah.
I was desperate and I didn't really know what to do. And I felt like I was constantly crying
Yeah.
out for help and getting ignored. And it felt like, you know, this is a thing they can't ignore.
Yeah.
Like that I need, like, it was like, I need help and I don't know how to get it. So I'm going to do these big dramatic things.
Yeah, I feel like I remember you and Mom arguing about it in the kitchen, like her being like, you did not do that. And you were like, yes, I did. Am I correct?
And she was like, drink some water.
Which, I mean, granted, I mean, that would, you should have drank water. Like that, I think was part of the, but like, not like that. Not like the way she said it, but like
No.
flushing
But
your
I
system would
think-
have been a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that like, I think the thing that really bothers me about it is that even if I hadn't really done it and she thought I was faking, if your child comes to you and tells you that they
Right.
tried to kill themselves and they didn't really, but like clearly that would still be a cry for
Yeah,
help,
right.
right?
Yeah.
Like someone who is claiming to have harmed themselves when they
Yeah.
didn't also would need help.
Right.
Mhm.
You know, and I was harming myself and I showed her that I was harming myself. You know, like she cleaned my room once and found like my little kit with like all my self-harm stuff in it, and she just like took it and we didn't ever talk about it.
Mhm.
And I think she didn't know what to do and she couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
And so she just kind of hoped I'd get over
And
it.
I think Mom had the mentality of like I had it harder than her, and she has a roof over her head, and I give her everything, and she shouldn't be complaining. You know what I mean? I think like she had that mentality that like
we could never, have suffered like enough trauma in her eyes.
Right.
And we should be thankful. And unfortunately, that's not the way
trauma works.
that depression works.
Right.
You can, everything outwardly can be right with your life and you can still feel incredibly depressed. And
it's genetic. It runs
Yeah.
in our family.
Yeah.
And she had depression, right? Like,
Yeah, no, she had depression and anxiety
Yeah.
and adult ADD.
and there's at the time, there was a big movement like in the 90s in terms of like how to deal with children when they were like, quote unquote having a fit.
God.
That don't ignore them, don't give them
yeah.
attention. And now in the early childhood field, especially, there's more of a movement towards, when let's figure out how to give that child the attention they're craving.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a thing that I've seen a lot of early childhood professionals share that's like basically, when you find yourself saying, oh, that kid's just doing that for attention, replace the word attention with the word relationship.
Mm-hmm.
That kid's doing that because they're seeking a relationship. They're seeking validation. They're seeking, and why would you ignore that?
Yeah.
You have to find a way to give that child that validation and that attention. And, obviously that doesn't mean that, you encourage the poor behavior, but it's a conversation that you have with the kid. Like, oh, you wanted my attention, so you threw a block. Next time you want my attention, why don't you come over and talk to me?
Mm-hmm.
And then the next time when they come over and talk to you, you have to actually listen.
Right.
Yeah.
And, I think, I don't blame mom, because I think she really thought she was doing what was right. And I think that she thought her idea of like, well, I'm just doing it for attention. She thought that she could ignore it and it would magically go away. That if I were doing this for her attention and it didn't get me her attention, that I would stop. But the thing is,
tried harder.
Yeah, I just tried harder to get her attention. And the things that were making me seek out that relationship and that validation and that attention, they didn't magically go away.
Yeah.
It was my crippling depression that was making me act out like that. And you can't just ignore depression and it goes away. I've had to do a lot of work on my mental health, and I'm in a much healthier place now, but it's because of therapy and medications. Right. And it's a thing you have to constantly work on.
Yeah, if you just ignored it, it would just get worse and worse. You wouldn't be functional at all at this point.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes, when adults ignore children's cries for help, it's like, oh, well, that child doesn't do that anymore. Yeah, because they've learned that you're not a safe person that's going to help them.
Right.
So they're still feeling that way. They're just not telling you anymore.
And then when something terrible happens, they're like, why didn't they come to me?
Why didn't they tell me? Because you taught me that my pain was pretend.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't believe me.
Mrs. Hollingsworth?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, you're not depressed.
There's like a ton of people who still like feel like if you talk about depression, if you show self-harm or do anything like that, that you are faking it for attention. Mm-hmm. I see it all the time because I talk about, I used to be, because I've been depressed. Well, I'm diagnosed bipolar, so I've always been bipolar, and that caused a lot of the issues I had in school and stuff like that with relationships. And, but when I was younger, nobody would talk about it. Because we didn't have the internet. We didn't have like a way to connect with other people to be like, oh, this is something other people deal with. And now I can talk about it with somebody who's also open about it and kind of figure things out. But at the time when I was in high school, I hid it. I wouldn't tell people what was going on.
Yeah.
Because I was ashamed, because they taught you to be ashamed of that type of stuff. There's something wrong with you.
You and I didn't even really talk with each other about it.
No.
And we could have been such great supports for each other, but we were being taught that this isn't okay to talk about.
No, that was on you. You guys fucked up.
But there was a girl in one of my classes who would say that she spent time in a mental institution. She'd come into class and talk about it. And I don't know whether or not it was true, but I remember thinking she was full of shit. Because if you really have depression, you don't talk about it. You're ashamed.
You would be ashamed.
And that's how a lot of people feel.
I feel like that's so New England.
But I see it on the internet, people from all over.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Like being like, people who are really depressed don't talk about it. It's like, no, they didn't talk about it because they were shamed by society. And now there's more acceptance.
And we need to talk about it.
Now people are finally, it's similar to things like racism, sexism. People wouldn't talk about it because they didn't have a safe space to talk about it. Now the internet's a safer space. Like you might get attacked, but you're getting attacked online, not in person.
You might get swatted.
Threatened. But it's things that are coming, things that were always there that were just hidden. That now, because people have a way to communicate and validate the things that they were always feeling, now people are starting to talk about it in public. And people are saying like, oh, you're just doing it because it's a trend now. And it's like, no. And even if you weren't really depressed, the fact that you're saying you're depressed for attention is a sign of something is wrong.
Yeah, something. Yes, that's some sort of like something's going on that you need help for.
Mhm.
Like I remember the day after Bethany, or maybe it wasn't the day after. It was like that week that after you had tried to kill yourself, because I want to say it was like the same week as Valentine's Day. Does that sound accurate? I don't know if you would.
That sounds right. I think it was on Valentine's Day.
Okay, because I remember it was in that time frame, and I remember going to school. I don't know if it was the next day or like that week or whatever. And I ended up like talking to Mr. Bashand about it, like my homeroom and math teacher, which I think didn't you have him and hate him?
Yes, you told Mr. Bashand about me.
I did, but he didn't do it. I don't think he called mom. Like I was like, I like had like a private meeting and was like, I'm like, I think my sister tried to kill herself. And like, I mean, I was in 6th grade, so I was like dealing with that myself. Like, what does that mean? Like, you know, but like, it's weird to think back and it's like, I did, you know what, if you were a teacher, you would think he would have called home or something, but like...
And been like, is everything okay?
Yeah.
Your daughter is telling me that there's stuff going on at home.
Yeah, especially...
I'm worried. Is there anything I can do to help? Is there resources I can help you with?
Right, considering he had you as a student as well years prior.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know that he called home, but I also don't know that if he did, if mom would have... just been like, everything's fine, we're taking care of, you know what I mean? Like,
she probably would have, honestly.
Yeah. So like, I have no idea if he did, but you know, it's entirely possible that she would have just like swept it under the rug anyway. So, Oh my God, I can only like 6th grade. Was it? I think it was 5th grade when Dad had his heart attack. I was just always going to school with like a boatload of shit because I had that.
I think I was a sophomore. So you probably were 6th grade when you had it, because I think I was pretty sure I was a sophomore.
Yeah, I think it was. Okay, no, it was 6th grade, because I remember writing in my Blink-182 diary that, like, it was literally like, I fucking hate Heather. She's a freakish fat sea cow. Dad had a heart attack today, but Heather's a bitch. She's irritating me. Like, but yeah.
Heather from the bus, or Heather that was one of the twins?
Yeah, Heather was
a
chronic liar. Like, I don't know what, she was always telling tall tales. She would be like,
so was Jessica Rain.
She was
telling me about our my size Barbies.
Cry for help.
It was. It was.
Heather would be like, oh, you know, so and so has a crush on you, and then they'd be like, I never said that. Like, she would just like make shit up to stir the pot.
Jeez.
But yeah, I definitely remember like going to school a lot that year and being like, there's not a lot of stuff going on. Like, what's happening? But I would still go to school because that's how I function, is by overcompensating with too many activities. And that's how I've always been. Like, that's always been my crutch, is to just constantly be doing stuff to not actually sit and have to think about what's going on.
Well, I know I was giving very clear warning signs, not by like what I was saying, but the fact that I almost always attendance failed. The fact that I went from being a straight A student in elementary school to going C's, D's, F's every year, getting worse and worse. And nobody picked up on it. Like, they just let me skate by and didn't try to help me. And there was a thread on Facebook recently that was like, what is something about your disability that you're angry about? And I'm like, I'm angry that I basically didn't get a high school education because I was so exhausted that I didn't absorb any of the information, and I failed all my classes and nobody did anything to help me. The one time my mom noticed something was up, and brought me to the guidance counselor, she just told me that people don't like people who are sad.
Oh my God.
And I'm like,
Jesus.
I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I didn't get any help. And I remember at some point I heard about bipolar and I thought that was what I was. But then I went to the doctors and they treated me for depression and said, I don't know. My attempts at treatment have been miserable. But anyways, people saw me just failing and just assumed I was lazy and unmotivated and stuff like that.
That is a very common thing with, a lot of mental health disorders, like your depression or your anxiety or your bipolar disorder or your borderline personality disorder, or, all these different things you could have, often are so crippling that they stop you from doing things. And then people write it, they sleep all day, they're so lazy.
Right.
Well, there's probably either a physical or a mental component there that's making that person sleep all day. It's making them unable to
my
do
high
things.
functioning depression and anxiety brought me to write young authors books about like I think the first page is like, this is basically it was like, this is the story of a girl and but like it was like she was one of the nicest people ever but had one of the saddest lives, and then
God.
it was like her best friend killed themselves,
Oh,
and then they
God.
did totally send me to guidance about it.
Oh,
And I remember
jeez.
because like they wrote a note, and it was like, Carly, please come to guidance during lunch, and like put a smiley face. And I remember Brian Commons took the note and turned it into a sad crying face. And I was like, you're gonna get me in trouble. I was like, don't do that. And then like I went to guidance, and they're like, so about this story, is everything okay? Do you have friends? And I was like, y'all know me. I was like, I have lots of friends.
Right.
Yeah, I just wrote a story. I'm fine.
Jeez.
I am totally fine crying on the inside. I'm totally fine. Yeah, it's good. I have friends. Can I go back to them? Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, I mean, but that's, I mean, also you grew up around when we grew up, and it's like, it was super stigmatized to have problems like that, to have mental health
Right.
issues.
Oh yeah.
So of course you're trying to sweep it under the rug and
Mhm.
not,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
not let anybody know, because if you talk about it, it's not real. You're not really depressed, because if you weren't, you would hide it.
No, I definitely
you can't win.
No, I 1000% remember that. I know it's funny because after I had some of the moms that I babysit for that came to see my one woman show, and I remember then like the 12-year-old, I think at the time, daughter that I babysat was like asking her mom about the show, and her mom was like, Carly's had a harder life than I realized.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, so I gotta wait until I get to write about it and really fester in it,
Yeah.
But other than that, I'll just keep it to myself and cry at movies and stuff. But I have a therapist. We've already talked about it, so
Yeah, I mean, at this point, the three of us all are like, we have mental illness issues. We see therapists. I mean, for me, my parents found out how bad it was because I needed to be hospitalized because I didn't have any help.
Damn, is that when they just discovered?
Well, my mom, I had told my mom, and she was aware that I had mental health issues, but like, I don't think I talked to my dad about it at all.
Wow.
But they also didn't realize how serious they were, how like crippling they were. In that moment, like, I think people knew that I had mental illness, and I would talk about it like kind of like I'd talk about it on Facebook, maybe, casually at that point. But even I didn't know how severe it was until I was hospitalized. And then I'm like, oh shit, this is like serious. I need to get help. Like, I knew I needed to get help before that, but I'm like, no, I need to get help. Which going to the hospital thankfully opened some doors for me. Because I was on, struggling to get a therapist and a psychiatrist because they're overbooked.
Which is way harder than it should be.
So hard. It's hard to get healthcare. It's hard to find someone in your healthcare to see you. It's hard to find someone who even has the time to see you. Especially, I'm in a small town. Like, there's only so many people who can see you. But being hospitalized put me at the top of these lists.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, this is an emergency. She needs emergency outpatient care when she gets out of here. Okay, we'll take her. We'll fit her in, type of thing.
So kids, what you want to do is you want to not sleep for like 4 days.
Oh God.
And that's how you, it's easy. And that's how you get a therapist in America.
Just lose your mind entirely.
But then once you do that, it's easy.
Right.
So everybody pull themselves up by their bootstraps and just figure it out.
Oh, Jesus.
So Frankie is driving home from the motel. She's clearly flustered, but trying to put herself in a good mood by putting on some music. She's like, okay, I can dance to this like random song that's not a real song. Okay, I can do it. And then her tire bursts dramatically. Literally the most dramatic day ever. Cut back to the hospital. Tiny is just waking up from surgery when Lola jumps on him. Again, great thing after surgery. Just,
hugging her is appendix.
Yeah, just really punch him right in the appendix area. But she is ready to play nurse and feels bad that she told him not to go to the doctor because she loves him. This causes...
She wants to give him a ham sub to make up for it.
Did she say ham sub?
Yeah,
Oh
she
my
did.
God.
She did. She offered him a ham sub. Because when you just had stomach surgery, do you know what you need? Friggin' ham sub.
Well, if it was ham spread, y'all know I'd be on it like white on rice. But again, that's just me. So she admits that she loves him, and this causes Tiny to admit that he also has feelings for Shay. He doesn't want to break up with her, though, but Lola demands answers. When Tiny doesn't have them, she knows that she's not ready to be second place and breaks up with Tiny. And I'm like, good for you, Lola. And she even takes her flowers, like a last ditch fuck you.
And he's not getting a ham sub.
No, and he's not getting any of her ham wallet either. Oh. Yeah, this is like the first time that I was like, Lola, good job. You finally did something right. Like, no, that's absolutely... If your boyfriend is like, I have feelings for somebody else too, I'd be like, okay, maybe it's time to walk away.
Right. Unless you're into polyamory.
And then that's fine. Yeah. No, yeah, but that's...
Actually, maybe I'll date you both.
But that's something to be discussed. I don't think Lola was ready for that. I don't know that Lola... Although Lola would be poly, I feel like eventually. I feel like she would be. But it's high school still.
I don't think Lola would realize she was poly. Lola's a little...
Yeah.
I think she might be into someone who's like, I can have 2 boyfriends, but you can only have me.
Yeah, right. Lola's into pizza amory.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. I think Lola would suddenly find herself dating 2 people and not know how she got there.
Yeah, no, I think she would. She dumb. But now we're back on the side of the road where Frankie is trying to decide who to call for help. Obviously, she doesn't want to call her mom, but she's mad at everybody in her life. She doesn't know what to do. Just
look up a YouTube tutorial.
I know, honestly.
You got the phone out already.
But also, granted, you have to be strong enough to, like, you know what I mean? If the bolts are, like, rusted or whatever, like, it's one thing knowing how to do it, but you might not be strong enough to do it.
I'm surprised she doesn't have AAA.
That's true, too. Maybe then her mom would be alerted to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. If I'm strong, all I'm saying is that if I'm strong enough to change a tire, then Frankie can do it. Because
I feel like you're most likely definitely stronger than Frankie.
You just use your foot.
Okay.
I don't know.
I've never actually done it either. But now we don't have Dad's AAA anymore, so I better fucking learn.
Dude, Greg and I have our own AAA.
However, luckily I do have Tinder, so and thanks to the world of misogyny,
so you can get a pizza while
yeah.
I remember one time Mom got a flat tire and she called Grampy because she knew Grampy would come and change the tire for her, and she knew that if she called Dad, he'd be like, "I can tell you over the phone how to do it. You're capable." And she didn't want that. She wanted someone to come do it for her. So she called Grampy.
Come and do this for me.
Yeah.
Yes. So anywho, as Frankie's contemplating, a black man parks behind her and gets out of the car. She locks the door immediately. He knocks on the window and asks...
That was so cringy.
Yeah, and asks if she needs help changing a tire. Nervous, she says no, but then realizes she's been racist all along. Oh my God.
That was like her moment. Like,
I am racist.
She realized, like... So then she let that fine, nice black man do some manual labor for her, and racism was cured.
Oh,
great, Frankie.
Yep. Oh my God. Yes. All right. So, now we're in the empty classroom, and Zoe is looking at a message from Tristan insisting that they need to talk. Zoe ignores it and goes back to looking at self-harm images on Hastygram, as well as like other like sad quotes of like, this is why you harm yourself.
Would you love me if you knew?
Yeah. It's like, oh no.
Yes.
Winston enters and apologizes for leaving her at dinner. And she's also sorry for hurting Winston just for likes. Winston bejeweled her a selfie stick for their future posts, but notices the messed up posts she's looking at. She says she just accidentally clicked on them. Apparently, Winston didn't see last night's post after he left her at dinner.
He was busy bejeweling
it's
the selfie
true.
stick.
He like left and was like, oh, I immediately regret that. I must go to the store and get a selfie stick and the bejeweling crafts and get home and do that.
He could start a business a la Joe Designs and sell some bejeweled cell phone cases.
Oh my God.
Are his parents rich? Because he brings her a latte every
That adds
day,
up.
buys her a selfie stick. He doesn't have a job.
I think he's living on the Hollingsworth dime.
I was gonna say
maybe.
he's never gonna be able to afford a house with all those lattes. Oh my god, the baby I babysat today, they said that they were gonna dress him up for Halloween as an avocado, and I was like, I was like, oh, are you guys gonna dress up as anything? And he was like, I don't know, we haven't dressed up in a long time, and I was like telling them Bethany about, and I was like, yeah, my sister and their family, like whatever my nephew decides, he then like appoints costumes to my sister and brother-in-law. And so they just, they go as a family costume in that way. And he was like, oh, but what goes with avocado? And I was like, well, you guys should be toast because you can't afford a house because of the avocado because they rent. So I was like, he was like, you're so right. We can't afford a house because of the avocado. And I was like, that's why we're living here.
Perfect.
I was like, yep.
Yeah. I'll give them a tutorial on how I made my toast costume. My senior year of
I was
high
gonna
school.
say, if they go through it, I will tell them because I remember because weren't you also grilled cheese one year with the same like concept? Or?
No, I was toast, but I let Dominic try on the toast
he was
costume,
grilled
and
cheese.
he looked like a
That's
grilled
right.
cheese because he was dressed like Charlie Brown. So he had a yellow shirt on, and so once he put on my toast costume, he looked like a grilled cheese. And I had Katie French braid my hair,
Your
and then
French
I drew
toast.
on a little mustache. Yeah, and I was French toast about halfway through the day. Could not sit down in that costume,
No.
because the foam would just go
Yeah.
up. That was like I feel like my favorite costume I've ever been, because it was so weird and random.
The bell rings, and that's when everybody finally comes into class.
Right, the second the bell rings.
And as Zoe continues to look at the pictures, sadly, as class starts. All right, so the final scene, we are in Frankie's room, and Mrs. Hollingsworth, the most selfish mother, is giving Frankie a stern talking to about being selfish. But she's glad she's home. Miles, the dad, comes in and asks if she thinks running away was going to solve anything. But Frankie is now woke. She fucked up, and she finally knows it. But Miles tries to let her off the hook for locking the doors on the black guy, but Frankie is firm in her realization, and she is not making excuses anymore. She's going to do better. She decides to call Jonah to apologize, and as she does that, she realizes that Shay has left her a voicemail, that she's worried about her. And Frankie knows that everything is going to be okay.
I really liked how when she was getting grounded, Miles was like waiting in the door.
Yeah, because he's the dad.
Like to give his big brother talk.
No, he's dad. He was.
All right, your turn's over.
Also,
My turn.
where the F is Hunter? Is he in jail this episode or what? Where is
he's
he?
still in. Isn't he? I mean, it's been a while, isn't he?
He might still be in the mental institution.
Oh, all right. Okay. See, I haven't watched most of the season.
Yeah, I think he's still in the mental institution.
I forgot about that storyline. All right. I just thought he was MIA and
But no, I liked that Hunt again because his shirt's always tucked in. He was literally arms crossed, leaning against the door.
Yes, in the door,
looking
leaning against the door
like a
frame.
dad. Like, oh, you knucklehead, come here. Let me give you a noogie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get any themes? Because the mom came home, so I ran out of time babysitting.
I feel like there wasn't a common theme, and I tried really hard to make them all be the same, but it's just stupid. I said, Frankie runs away from her problems again, but this time it's literal. Zoe runs away from her homosexuality and copes by burning herself. Tiny runs away from Lola's lame homeopathy.
Homeopathy. Homopathy?
Homopathy.
Is that how you say it?
Homopathy? I don't know.
Homopathy?
I always say.
It's not homopathy.
I always call it homeopathy.
It's homeopathic.
Okay.
Homeopathy.
Homeopathy?
Homeopathy.
Homeopathy.
I don't know.
It's not homeopathy.
Homeopathy.
Homie don't play that.
Yeah, I think it's homeopathy and then
Homeopathy.
homeopathic.
It's homosexual.
How would they say it on?
You have a
Degrassi?
homeopath.
It would say homeopathy.
I'm a flaming homeopath. I think those sound like good themes.
Yeah, I don't know.
The theme is runaway train never
coming
back.
I think the theme is image.
Image.
Yeah, because I don't know.
It's just
Because Frankie wants to maintain her image as not a racist.
she's doing a great job.
Zoe wants to maintain
Good
her
job.
image as power couple. And Tiny wants to maintain his image as having an appendix. Everybody fails.
And
sorry.
I think
I leaned back too far in my.
I
thing
think
ripped
that
out.
the theme is a bejeweling. So yes, Zoe.
Tiny got his appendix.
You got to put back in
bejeweled.
right after. They didn't mention that part.
They just bejewel. That's what they do for appendicitis in Canada. They remove it, they bejewel it, they
And
put
that's
it back.
why
We also bejeweled his stitches.
That's why
Oh, he definitely had some rhinestone.
That's why their healthcare system's not going to work in America.
Because we don't put up with that bejeweling nonsense.
Because I don't want to wait 2 years to have my appendix bejeweled. I want my appendix bejeweled right now, and I want to be in debt for life.
He was bejeweled
I
like
spend
immediately.
$100,000 on it.
He got immediately bejeweled.
Yeah. I think that's and what we didn't see is that Frankie had that black man bejewel her tire.
That's probably it. She was probably out there trying to bejewel it, and the man was like, "Honey, what are you doing?"
He was like, "I actually have this bejewel tool that they sold at like Kmart, and I'm here to help you."
He's like, "I have a bejeweled tire iron that I can help you take care of this." And she was like, "Don't kill me." And he was like, "It's bejeweled. I'm not going to use it as a murder weapon and get all yucky with your blood."
All right, so what are we doing? What's the episode next week? Do you know?
Oh wait, I wrote it down this time. All right, yeah. So next week's episode, or I love how I always say next week's episode,
As if
but
we
you
do
never
it once a
know.
week.
We're all mentally ill on this podcast, so who knows when we'll get around to it.
We
dealing.
need a lot of self-care over here.
We do. I had to go. I had to break up with my old roommate, move to a different apartment by myself, go to Ireland because I was dealing with everything, and then adopt a cat with one eye. And so that's where we are
that sounds
today.
like a solid plan.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to buy a house, which is a lot.
I finally sold my house.
So see, we're all going through things. I also auditioned for The Bachelor, so
There you go.
it's been a lot, you guys. Oh my god. So next time we record, we're going to be talking about Season 2, Episode 8, # Rise and Grind.
Ooh, what's that about?
I don't remember. But that's probably that's the point. No spoilers.
Is that like Wake and Bake?
Oh, what? Are you just asking what Rise and Grind means?
Yeah.
No, Rise...
Get up
Bethany.
and go to work.
Bethany, you...
Because you got to grind.
No,
you have to grind
Bethany,
the pot.
I don't
before
think you've ever...
You get the grinder.
You've never rose and ground, so that's why you...
I've never rose and ground.
That's why you don't
or
know what it's
woken-
like to rise.
Or woken boke. The past tense of wake and bake is woken boke, right? Obviously.
Do you even woken boke, bro?
I've never woken boke.
No.
Or
I've never...
Or risen and risen.
Rose and groans. No, yes. When you rise and grind, it means you wake up and you fucking put the pedal to the metal and you get shit
Oh, like
done.
you seize the day.
Yeah.
I've never
Tug
done
and
that.
jug.
Yeah.
It's like the tug and jug. You go to the tug and jug.
Well, when you wake up and you tug and jug, and that's when you just tug it into a jug next to your bed.
Yeah, you throw it out the window. Like truck drivers when they pee on the road. That was a whole thing on Trailer Park Boys.
Oh my god.
There's jugs of piss everywhere.
I never knew that the what is the thing actually called that the tug and
jug handle?
Jug handle.
Jug handle.
Tug
yeah.
and jug. Oh yeah, let's just tell everybody at home because I feel like we always do, especially when the three of us are together. We're over here like, there's good jokes.
They let you turn left there now.
Yeah,
You
they
don't
got
even
rid
need
of
to use the
one.
tug and
They
jug.
got rid of one of the tug and jugs. So for our listeners at home, if you're ever in Nashua, New Hampshire, on what is it?
On this particular stretch of
101A
/anniversary.
They had a thing called the jug handle. There's still one of them, and it literally all it is like a half of a roundabout.
Yeah, well, you can. There's no left turns at this.
Yeah, so you have to take a
intersection, so
right
you have
to swing around.
Yeah, you have to go around the jug
To
handle
go straight.
to reverse your direction.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, they literally called it a jug handle. I've never seen it called the jug handle anywhere else, but in New Hampshire.
I've never seen it exist anywhere else.
Yeah. So, anyways, well, Jesse, it was your ex-boyfriend who used to call it. He's like, "What is that thing called? The tug and jug?" And that's why we always call it a tug.
Because you were like really excited about it. You're like, we're going to go through the jug handle. And he like did not.
I was like,
He
what?
was like, what? Or where are we going?
The tug and jug.
The tug. Why are you excited about this tug and jug? Didn't he think it was like some sort of coffee shop or something? He was like, I thought it was going to be really good coffee.
Oh man,
He did not understand the excitement when you were like, look, reverse direction.
I need to buy Mocha Joe's and rename it the Tug and Jug.
Oh, that's such a good idea.
I also wanted to put an asterisk to a joke made earlier that we laughed heartily at, but then never explained, which was when I called Lola a mumbo jumbo guy.
Yeah, one time we were talking to Pops about shaman, and he couldn't remember what they were called, so he called him a mumbo jumbo guy. All right, anyways. Hiawatha. So thanks for coming on, Beth.
You're welcome. Anytime.
All right.
2 more times, then I get my jacket.
Any social media you want to plug?
No, because my shit is private. Don't look me up.
There we go.
Don't send me a friend request. I will not accept it.
I will block you.
Tell them that your social media is a social disease podcast.
I control the social disease podcast page. I hacked into it.
All right.
And that's just all pictures of my kids now. The ones that I'm allowed to show on social
the ones that aren't
media.
rentals.
The one that I've already purchased.
All right, and thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
And once again, we're your hosts, Jessie Mack.
And Carly Jo Gear.
And this has been a Social Disease Podcast.
Thanks for listening.